Have you ever gone through something so horrible that you just wanted to drop dead? Have you ever gone through an obstacle so large that you didn't have the energy to overcome it? I used to be like that. I used to think that way. But some things have happened to me in my life that made me have an entirely different point of view. Winston Churchill once said that if you're going through hell, then you have to keep going. So like no matter what kind of obstacle you go through, you have to keep going. So as you might already know, my name is Felicity Ajete, and I was born with Sickle Beta Thalassemia. And I was born in Dallas to my parents, Elizabeth and Jonathan. I was a pretty small baby, so I was like 4 to 5 pounds, and that scared my parents because I was so small. And there was a 25% chance that one of their kids would be born with this disorder. So I was the lucky one out of 3 kids to have Sickle Beta Thalassemia. It's basically a blood disorder that affects my red blood cells. Instead of them being, happy, red, circular, they're actually like sickled shape and brown and red, and they're ugly. Basically, I was still loved unconditionally by my parents. Like, they just became extremely protective of me as a little kid, because some symptoms of the disorder that I have is that I have mild to extremely severe pain episodes. I have a shortened lifespan. I'm at a higher risk of strokes and things when I get older. Because of all these symptoms, my parents have always been, and kind of still are, extremely overprotective. They didn't let me play outside as much, or they didn't let me go out and play with my friends as much. My body, it can't be in extreme temperatures. So when it's extremely cold, like 20 degrees, 30 degrees or something like that, then my body will like react really badly to that. So when my friends would come and ask me like, hey, can we go swimming or something at the pool when it's like over 100 degrees outside, or if we can go outside and have snowball fights and build snowmen and all that kind of stuff, my parents would say no because I was sick or something and I couldn't go outside. I lost a lot of my friends because I couldn't go out and play with all my friends, and that caused me to be like really quiet and really shy at school. And because I was like the real small girl, I was really small, and I was the only dark-skinned person in my class, then that caused me to be bullied by a bunch of the people in my preschool class. My parents helped me get through preschool, and I stopped listening to everything they were saying because my parents told me that I was beautiful and I didn't have to listen to anything that they had to say. Fast forwarding through there, I moved to Plano and started kindergarten here. I started playing trombone and band. I played a whole bunch of sports like track, volleyball, basketball, and I started to dance. There was never really a month in school that I wasn't in pain. Not like mentally or emotionally or anything, but like physically. Like, I overworked my body a lot because of all the sports I played. And so because of all those sports I played, I had a lot of pain crises or pain episodes. And they were pretty mild, like only lasting like a week max. There was the most recent one that I had. It was like so bad that it lasted like 2 weeks. So like I was in church, minding my own business, and then my side started throbbing. And 2 things were going through my head at this time. It was like, 1, I have to get home really quickly, and 2, freak, this is happening again. When my sides start throbbing, that means that a pain episode is about to happen. Usually I get Motrin and get a heating pad or something and take a nap, and hopefully when I wake up, then the pain isn't as bad as before. But this time, it was as if I was getting stabbed in the sides with a knife repeatedly. I mean, I don't know how getting stabbed feels, but I'm guessing that it's not really good. I collapsed and fainted from the pain being so bad, and I woke up in the middle of the night in the hospital, and I was really confused as to how this happened. I wasn't really doing anything that would cause my sides to start throbbing. Like, a lot of things happened that caused me to be in the hospital for those 2 weeks that I had the pain episode. So first I had a blood infection from food poisoning. So instead of the food poisoning going to my stomach like normal, it went through my blood instead, and that caused the sickle crisis to occur more extremely. And because my sickle crisis was extremely severe, I contracted acute chest syndrome, and apparently that is the leading cause of death in people with my disorder. It was later discovered that I had gotten a bone infection in my hip from my blood being too sickled. Like, too many of my sickled cells had gotten through the blood that goes through that area of my body. I wasn't looking really good the first couple of days that I was in the hospital. One morning I woke up struggling to breathe. A team of doctors were rushing me to get me to the ICU, and I was just confused because I had just woken up and I was seeing all these people pushing me and screaming at each other to get me out of the room, and I was just like, what did I do? What's happening? And it was later found out that if I had stayed in the room that I was in any longer, if I had kept the amount of oxygen that I was already getting with the oxygen mask that I had, then both of my lungs would have completely failed and I would have died. I wouldn't have been able to breathe. When I heard this, I was in shock. I didn't know I was like that bad or that close to dying that both of my lungs were going to collapse. My first question was, what do I need to do to get better? What do I need to do to help you guys get me out of here as fast as possible? They basically said that they can try and do like blood transfusions or something to get the infection out of my blood. So I got 2 blood transfusions, and since both of those didn't really work, I got a red blood cell exchange, which is basically having like a tube or a catheter go through your chest like this, and there's like 2 separate ones, so one's bringing blood out while another one's bringing blood in. So there was a band banquet like in a week from when I was having like the exchange, and I was like, I'm going to go to that, so I'm going to get better by that time. So I met with physical therapists all through that entire week, trying to get me to be able to walk a little bit, and I pushed myself to get better, and I was discharged on Friday, and that same day I went to the band banquet in a wheelchair, and I had fun with my friends, and I had a blast, and I'm happy that I did that. And so now I'm here, I'm doing color guard and all that stuff, I'm dancing and I'm having fun, and I'm really happy that I was able to overcome this thing that happened to me. Not many people can say that they've gone through something like this, and I believe that whatever the world throws at you, you have to overcome. Like, you can't let the world change your smile, but let your smile change the world. So you always remember that you can overcome anything that you put your mind to. So that's me, that's my struggle, that's my personal philosophy, and I will see y'all later.